dancer is the song leader. That's the role of the belly dancer. So the belly dancer is the music. The belly dancer is the song leader whose movements become the visual example of the music. And it's all improvised. And with an exchange of chemistry and energy, we exemplify the culture and its soulful interpretation of life. In my generation, there was this divide between practitioners, like those who were dancing and on the stage and could get a job being a professional dancer, and then those that would get to go to college. Yeah, I'm going to use the word get because it's such a privilege and honor. But there was this separation between those that went and kind of studied dance and read about dance and had an academic, focus of dance, and then those of us who hit the stage. So when I graduated high school, there was no option. I was to hit the stage. I had already hit the stage. And I remember having fantasies about being able to have the time to do both. And there were a couple of times where I was so curious and interested about different subjects, and I would go to classes and then, get a call and be whisked away and have to go to the Middle East for a few months, and there goes that semester. I was supporting my mom since I was 14. I was teaching, assisting her since I was 9. And then at 14, she sent me out in the world by myself to teach and perform. I was on the stage by the time I was 2. And for people like me, there was this kind of a given of what my life and future was going to look like. I think that for a professional dancer, there's this element of practice and hard work and stage hustle, network, business that has been completely detached from the academic world. Yet the academic world of the arts, and especially dance and movement, is where the history is written and the history is documented, and the work and the efforts are able to be preserved for future generations. It wasn't until I found out about LEAP that I even thought there was a possibility. There was a dream, there was always this desire. I always knew that it was how I would be able to get the Salimpour body of work into a place of longevity and into a place of almost like safety. So for me, finding out about LEAP was crucial in being able to see the possibilities of my dreams, be able to come true, really. To have a program that is designed specifically for dancers is unbelievable. I mean, I think that the amount of sensitivity and appreciation and understanding of what dancers go through is been something that I've never seen before in any kind of academic structure. I have created the structure of the Salimpour School based on an academic structure. That is my goal and that is my dream. The dream is to be able to slide in the Salimpour School into an academic environment for the future. I always felt that my dance form, it would be so great to have the grants and the presence and that place at the table to be able to have those conversations that the dance world is having. I think the reason that my art form has had, I would say, struggles, there's many reasons. One, I feel, is that as a dance community, we haven't been able to come together enough, and there isn't a agreed upon codification or structure or format. So my family has created one, and this has become the foundation and base of our school.
My mother was the first one to do week-long workshops and festivals in this country. And so really I'm just carrying on in her dreams of what this dance form can bring. And I told my mom, I said, I want to teach me. She said, oh, nobody will come. She said, nobody wants to learn belly dance anymore.
You know, to my knowledge, I was the first person to ever name steps and record steps.
But I also feel that the way different dance forms and art forms train and present their work also really dictates the type of visibility. And my goal is to try to have belly dance really be seen as a legitimate dance form. I had definitely become depleted. I am one of the top instructors in my field, but I have gone through a lot of personal life challenges that have completely sucked my soul. Not to be too overly dramatic, but I went through divorce. I was a single mom. Then I had to be a caretaker for my mother. And that was really challenging because my mother was such an important and crucial person and part of my artistic and business life. And then when my mother passed, I lost my grounding, my footing, and having to redefine myself as an artist. And then now I'm in my 50s and oh no, what have I done? How am I going to continue this journey of dance that I love so much? And then, of course, to not try to feel betrayed by your body and betrayed by your art form and betrayed by, your community, because there are times of your life where you must regenerate and be fed. And I knew going to college, going to university would feed me. It gave me, that being a beginner again and being a learner again, and it's so important. I have had so much fun in the process, and the choreography classes that I took were so interesting because I teach choreography and I teach how to choreograph and I teach a specific choreographic method. So just when you think there, oh yeah, I know this or I know that. But you know what? Every class was a new perspective and the chance to be fresh again and create again and explore again. And explore in areas and in places where I'm never given that kind of freedom. I'm always afraid even to even show up at a dance class or a movement class because I'm being watched and you're being judged and you're being critiqued and monitored, and you just never feel that you have that type of safety and freedom to just explore. I was just so grateful for the opportunity to be in these classes and just to be a student. I absolutely loved being in the Laban Bartinieff class as well, learning about this technique and way of speaking and language was just fascinating because I can see how important it is for academic dance departments using this language, using words like coming from the core and to distal edges. And it's like, yes, that way of speaking is just like so organic and it has such a nice flow to it that I'm going to be taking all of that into my classes as well. And to be able to do these warm-ups and these movement processes and these ways of like even just talking about movement, I am definitely using in my classes and keeping myself fresh, keeping my classes fresh, keeping my instructors in my school fresh. And it's just so nice to see actually how they all cross and all integrate, and the things that my dance form could also, add to information and knowledge within these classes. Like, for example, in the Laban Bartiniev class that I took, there's this dead 7 inches within the pelvic area that in my dance form are alive and well. And so it was really, really wonderful to see how, right, the movement forms could support each other and make each other stronger. I had been wanting to dance again for a really long time. I got stuck in a kind of cycle of running a business and running a school and starting an online institute, and then having a dance company and producing 3 major shows, just like this outpour, and just having that time to kind of remind myself why I love to dance. Want to dance again was huge. Allowing my body to heal itself through some of the movement practices was huge. And also, I really wanted to figure out what I wanted to say now at this time in my life as a dancer. And I didn't want to just get on the stage to get on the stage. I didn't want to just perform again just because I should or could or would I, or how does a belly dancer age? How does a belly dancer age and progress and still grow and have something to say? And it took a really long time to kind of meditate and marinate within the process of going through LEAP in order to birth El Hakaya. El Hakaya means the story. And the show is more of a story. It's a story of my art form. It's a story of myself and the musician Fadi Slambuli that I work with. It's the story of an art form going through huge transition, the colonization of an art form, of a culture, the death of certain traditions that I do, that I teach, that I grew up on, that I love, that I miss, and I want to educate.
Yeah. So we work 7 nights a week, but one night we had off. There was a special band playing in another club, and so we were invited as our club to go watch this, singer and band at this other club. So I'm sitting there and I'm with the club that I'm with, and we're all there, and the musicians and the owner and the manager, and we're representing. And I notice a table full of families, and by as the night matures and everyone's drinking a little bit, then what happens is that the husbands go on one side of the table and the wives go on the other side of the table. And that's pretty traditional within those types of settings, because the women really just want to hang out together. So I noticed, though, that there was this group of women kind of like, and looking, I was like, oh God. And I was really trying to be on the down low because the house dancer was performing and it was her time to shine, and I wasn't going to get up. And I was sitting in my seat and I was just there to enjoy the night. It was my night off. I wasn't going to dance, I was going to enjoy the night. So finally, this one woman got up and started walking right towards me and leaned down and said, "You're Suhaila." I said, "Yeah." And she said, "You need to get up." And I said, "No, well, see, it's my night off, and actually I can't like, and there's a house dancer, and I don't want to get up." I said, "Thank you so much." And they said, "No, you need to get up and dance." And I was like, "Well, thank you so much, but see, it's my night off, and I'm here, thank you so much." She was, I think, Syrian. She leaned down and she whispered in my ear and she said, "Please dance for us because we can't."
Aww.
And so I got up.
It's like, for me, teaching and sharing is a blessing and an offering. It is a service, and it gives me a place and a position in this world to kind of share my love. And the show is another extension of that, because for me, being able to move again and express in the music is one thing, but to be able to share my art form, the history within the last 100 years of my art form, where it has come from and where I think it is going, has been really a beautiful process, and definitely one that is because of the melting and the union and the growth that I have just gone through within these last years of being in the LEAP program. I just can't believe it. It's been so wonderful to watch and go through. Wasn't an easy process. I had to get my body healed. And it's like, we wonder what comes first, right? Am I injured because my psyche is damaged or hurt, or am I protecting myself emotionally? Or am I emotionally depressed, really, or damaged because my physical limitations? And I think they kind of play off of each other. And so, being able to work up to the show was very emotional for me. I had a few rehearsals where I was just in tears the whole time. And part of me was not really sure when I started to practice and rehearse, I started to feel like I was going to cry. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to cry. All right, we'll just go through it and cry. And I thought it was really interesting because it is very challenging to go through one's creative life, being on stage and being documented every step of the way. So I had to get back out there, and I really had so much to say within this performance. And it's a way of me being able to share my art form and share my love, teach, express, emote, offer. It's half movement and half monologue and storytelling. And I think that's something that I enjoy doing too. Also, I talk about the music, I talk about the history of the music, I talk about why the music sounds the way it does, it's kind of the process that it has gone through, as well as the dance. And I don't think that I could have done El Hakaya or gotten myself back on stage again if it wasn't for the continued efforts and growth and the support that I've gotten from the LEAP community, and going to college, getting my degree. I'm not done, just beginning, really.